Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 114 of the Dear Herbalist podcast titled Preparing for a Detox, Mind, Body, and Environment. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Thank you so much for listening. And if you are a returning person, you guys know I love you. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you, as always. Now, this is part 2 of a 4-part series talking about detoxification. If you haven't heard the first podcast, we kind of dived in a little bit there about the body's natural processes to detoxification because it can do it. And also gave you a few little tidbits on what you can do to continue to support and how you can use herbs to do that. But tonight we're going to talk about preparing for a detox. Let's go ahead and dive in. Detoxification is not just about a diet. It is a holistic process involving your mind, your body, and your environment. So tonight I'm going to break down the importance of assessing your life, choosing the right timing for your cleanse, and the preparation phase that is involved in any type of detoxification program or protocol. And then we're going to talk about how exercise and some traditional Chinese medicine perspectives play key roles in detoxification as well. Assessing your life. Now, before jumping into a cleanse, it's important to first assess the toxins that are in your life, right? Sometimes I feel sluggish and I'm just going to go ahead and drink me a drink and drink me a detoxification pill and I should be good. No, any action that is successful is so because you first started with an assessment. First assessment, then a plan. Okay, sometimes people are like, well, you got to have a plan. No, you got to have an assessment. Assess what's going on. Because detoxification, like I said, it's not just about what you eat, but it's about addressing everything from your environment, emotional toxins, stress. All of these things play a huge role in your detoxification process. So let's look at the 4 main areas of toxicity. We're going to look at environmental, metabolic, emotional, as well as energetic toxins as well. So let's start with environmental. Now, environmental toxins are all around us and we're often unaware of them. So let me give you a few of them that you might not be aware of. In our air, they have the PM 2.5 particles, which are fine air pollutants, and this can reduce our lung function by up to 18% with chronic exposure. In our water, we have chemicals like atrazine, herbicides, and all other type of endocrine disruptors within our water sources. And even at very low levels, they are still dangerous to the body. And in our household, there's phthalates and which is commonly found in plastics and a host of other chemicals, whether in our cleaning products, stuff we put on our skin, stuff we put in our mouth, stuff we brush our teeth with. I mean, it's just toxins everywhere. And these toxins can contribute to long-term health issues if they are not addressed. Number 2, let's look at metabolic toxins. Now, metabolic toxins primarily come from processed foods, and their effects are truly damaging. So, for example, it's called AGE, which is advanced glycation end products. They are found in highly processed foods, and they increase inflammation by 62%. Which leads to premature aging and chronic conditions. Then there's also emulsifiers, and they're found in many processed foods and have been shown to alter your gut microbiome within just 72 hours. So this is a quick disruption of your gut's natural balance. These metabolic toxins can harm your digestion, your immunity, as well as your overall well-being. And this is the reason why they need to be a part of your assessment, because you are ingesting these things, whether you know it or not. Number 3, emotional toxins. Now, some people are like, what does that got to do with anything? We are a 3-part being: spirit, soul, and body. Okay? Whether you believe that or not really isn't neither here nor there. It is a fact. Okay. And because of that fact, what we think emotionally and mentally plays a huge role in what manifests in us physically. Some people don't believe that. They think they can just handle all the physical issues or try to and attempt to and seemingly have no result, not factoring in stress, right? Not factoring in emotional damage, emotions, energy in motion, right? And so emotional toxins are often overlooked. People don't talk about that. But chronic emotional stress can have a profound effect on your detox systems. Why? Because if you look at cortisol, which is the stress hormone, this can actually reduce your liver detox enzyme activity by 29%. And it also impairs your intestinal barrier function, which is dangerous. And this can lead to a leaky gut. So this is the reason why stress plays a huge role, because your body is in fight or flight. It doesn't know, are you in danger? Do I need to protect you? And you're activating a lot of processes within the body because of stress unnecessarily. So there's nothing wrong with stress in and of itself. It's chronic stress. Because your body needs a little bit of stress. For example, if there's like a lion coming towards you, right? That fear and that stress, your body needs to kick on that fight or flight response. Otherwise, right, you're going to still stand there and get gobbled up by a lion. But this constant chronic back-to-back stress is not helping. And this is why managing emotional health is just important as managing what we eat. This is what we call doing the work that people don't want to do, but you have to do it if you want to be in health. Okay? Good health. Number 4, energetic toxins. Now, this is a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, but in this paradigm, okay, energetic toxins are thought to manifest as stagnation in the body, particularly in your liver. So when the energy in the liver is stagnant, this can lead to symptoms like hypochondriac pain, irritability, menstrual irregularities. And traditional Chinese medicine teaches us that liver stagnation can manifest in physical and emotional imbalances. This is the reason why it's important to address both your body and your mind during a detox. So, those things are important. Let's talk about planning your cleanse. All right, let me give you an evidence-based protocol design. All right, now that we've already assessed the different types of toxicity in our lives, like I told you before, you want to make your assessment first. Once you have that assessment, you understand where the toxic areas are of your life. Now you can move into proper planning. Now, the duration, meaning how long, and the design of your detox, meaning what type, can vary based on what your goals are, as well as your individual health needs. But let's talk about the duration first. Okay, let's put some guidelines here. There are some general guidelines for determining the length of your cleanse. So if you're somebody that's been cleansing for the first time, you want to aim for 3 to 5 days. And this is enough time to allow your liver enzymes to activate without overwhelming your system. Okay. If you have any type of a chronic, meaning long-term condition, you may need 7 to 10 days to allow for cellular turnover, because your cells require time to regenerate. This is very important. The cells that are in your gut, the cells that are in your liver, they require time to regenerate. All right. If you are just trying to do this, let's say you're not a first-time person, you don't necessarily have a chronic condition, but you want to do something for maintenance, you can do a 1-day seasonal cleanse, okay, which regulate your detoxification pathways, and they align with your body's natural rhythm. So let's talk about contraindications for detox, because detoxing is not always best for everyone, okay? So it's very important to understand that. Before starting any cleanse, there are some contraindications that you need to be aware of, especially if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, that type of thing. So avoid detoxing if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, because mobilizing toxins can be dangerous for both you and the baby. If you have HPA axis dysfunction, meaning that your cortisol levels are way too high in the morning, you want to avoid detoxing. If you're fighting an active infection, your immune system needs your energy. Okay? Because it takes energy to detox. So if you are fighting any type of common cold, active infection of any kind, your immune system needs your energy. So do not detox. And then if your liver enzyme, ALT or AST, are more than 3 times the normal range, you don't want to detox. And as always, let me put this caveat in here. It is always a good idea to consult with a healthcare provider before starting any cleanse, especially if you have any pre-existing conditions. Now let's talk about the preparation phase, because what you have first, of course, you make your assessment, then you plan. Now you are in your preparation phase. So let's get into the actual preparation phase. A successful detox does not start the day you begin the cleanse. It actually starts weeks before that. So let's go over your 3-week prep schedule. And yes, do 3 weeks. You can do longer, but do 3 weeks. Okay. So this is how to ease into a detox with diet, hydration, mental readiness, and self-discipline. Those last 2 are going to be very key to get you through this process. So week 1, you want to look at eliminating all processed foods. Focus on cutting out sugars, inflammatory foods, any type of processed food, cut it out. During this time, you can drink dandelion root tea, maybe 1 cup twice a day to support your liver function. Okay. And then start each morning by scraping your tongue to cleanse the mouth, as well as to stimulate your digestion. And get up in the morning and say a prayer, y'all. Cleanse the mind. And do that before you go to bed too. I'm adding that in here. Week 2 now, you want to increase your fiber. So aim to get about 35 grams of fiber per day from whole foods like vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. For herbal support during week 2, you want to take Triphala, about 500 milligrams at night, and this will help support your digestion as well as your elimination. And then also, you want to practice just listening to your breath, breathing. This is important because a lot of times people don't realize you may pause in your breathing. Your breathing may be breathing from your upper chest. You don't have deep breaths to provide the body with a lot of oxygen. It's nothing weird. It's just breathing, right? And breathing gets the body oxygen and everything it needs. It also pushes out the toxins from the lungs as well. So consider doing that as well during week 2. Now, week 3, you want to implement a 12-hour fast. So try to fast for 12 hours each night, for example, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And during this time, you can use milk thistle, about 300 milligrams 3 times a day, or you can drink some tea as well, to support your liver detox. And start dry brushing your skin in the shower to help stimulate circulation and lymphatic drainage. So if you look at this process, you're basically preparing the body for what's to come, but you're also supporting the body as well. We have to learn how to work with our body to read and understand our bodies and prepare it for what it's getting ready to come into. Okay. So that is a 3-week thing that you can do beforehand. Now, for proper hydration, it's very important to stay hydrated during your cleanse. So some people just like, I'll just drink a lot of water and keep it moving. But what you want to do is take your body weight in pounds, divide that by 2, okay, plus 16 ounces, and drink that every day. Okay? So if you weigh 150 pounds, then your hydration goal should be 91 ounces of water per day. Let's look at exercise and how you can use that to optimize your detoxing process, okay? We're going to look at some effective ways to activate your lymphatic system and support your detoxification. So let's say if you want to activate your lymph system, and the lymph system is basically your body's garbage can, if you want to look at it like that. It picks up all the toxins and the junk from the bloodstream. And so this system is one of those systems you definitely do not want backed up. So if you do not want this system backed up, you want to move your body. You want to exercise. Exercising is very important. There's several different exercises that you can do. But if you are on, let's say you are doing a detox program, you want to avoid, just for a short period of time, high intensity interval training, because this increases the lactic acid during your cleanse, which can overwhelm your detoxification pathways. So I would put that to the side for now if that's what you're into. You want to make sure that whatever exercise that you get into, that you are moving the body. You're stimulating your thoracic ducts. You want to move the body because, again, this helps activate your lymphatic system. Now, with traditional Chinese medicine, they have, they call it tiger claws, kyung. You can do that 3 times a day to stimulate your liver. So no matter what, make sure that your body is moving, okay, so that you can get that lymphatic system stimulated. Exercise is very important and should be a part of your protocol planning process. Now let's look at the liver detox framework from traditional Chinese medicine, because within the traditional Chinese medicine system, sour food plays a critical role in your liver detox. So from a scientific perspective, lemon contains D-limonene, which drains damp heat from the body, and it increases your GST enzymes by 24%. Hibiscus is another one, and it's rich in citric acid, which helps clear the liver fire, and it reduces your ALT levels by 18% in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And then Schizandra, which is another herb, it contains shinzanthirin A, which nourishes your liver yin and upregulates the NRF2 pathway by 3.2 times. So sour food, okay, this is sour foods pharmacology, as you want to call it, but sour foods play a critical role in supporting the liver's ability to be able to detox. So let's go over some key takeaways for Herbalist. Number 1, detox readiness checklist. You want to ensure that you have stable bowel movements, healthy urine output, and good heart rate variability. Herbal contraindications. You want to avoid strong cholagogues if the client has gallstones, and you want to limit the diuretics if creatine clearance is low. Okay, and you're like, how the heck could we know all of this type of stuff? Well, one, you can just simply ask the client that you have, or a family member, or whoever may be in your household. And then as far as the creatine levels, you definitely can ask the doctor, or sometimes the clients will know themselves, like, yo, my creatine is low. So you'll know, like, okay, I got to limit the diuretics, right? So these are some of the things that you need to take in consideration if you have clients that you are seeing and you are creating detox protocols for. Remember, detox is a holistic process that requires mental, physical, and environmental preparation. Please keep this in mind when you are working with your clients or even just yourself. It is a holistic process. It's not a one-time thing. Drink the drink, take the pill, go to the sauna. Whoop, I'm done. I'm good. I'm straight. No. There is a huge process that is involved with detoxification, and it is just that, a process. And it is something that you can do. It is something that you can support the body in doing, and it's something that you want to do because you want to make sure that your body is able to fire at all cylinders. Everything is working as it's designed. No issues, no ailments, none of that type of stuff. And that can happen by keeping your body cleaned out, supporting your excretory organs, or basically your organs of elimination. This is very important. All right. So if you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all of my social media sites at The Demystified Herbalist. Stay tuned for the next episode where we're going to talk about designing a safe and effective cleanse, how to do that. We're going to talk about the 4 phases of a traditional cleanse, and we'll give you some key steps as well. So thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Please, again, follow me on all social media sites. Feel free to have a comment down below. What kind of detoxes are y'all trying to do out there? Hit me up. Let me know. And until next time, family, I'm out.